Hi guys, this video is going to just be me talking a little bit about my Let's Play videos, primarily about the duration. I got a few things I want to talk about with the Let's Play videos, but this one is going to focus purely on the duration. What I'm thinking of doing is splitting my longer Let's Play videos up into two parts from now on. In fact, I'm 99.9% sure that's what I'm going to do, and I just wanted to explain to you guys why, because I know some people get bothered by change. Everyone's like, oh, why? If you don't care, this video will be completely and utterly a waste of time to you. So, those of you who've watched a lot of my different Let's Plays know that I don't actually have a set format for my duration. The part 34 of Skyrim, for example, was almost an hour. The first part of the Fallout was close to 45 minutes. And then some others go, 20 minutes. There's even the odd episode, part 30 of my Skyrim Let's Play, which was only 9 minutes long or something. I don't play to a timetable. I usually play until I feel I'm at a good place to stop, or until I have to stop, either because the technology isn't allowing me because my hard drive's full up, or time. But generally it's because I'm at a place that I want to stop. It feels right, and it does vary game to game. You probably noticed my Dishonored and my Amnesia Let's Play. They were all around 20 minutes, usually because that's exactly how long I wanted to play. With Skyrim and Fallout 3, usually that's a very short amount of time to play, because it's not the sort of game you just play for half an hour. It's a very, well, they are slow moving games, but in a good way. They're very immersive, and so usually I'm playing for a little longer, but it does vary. So, for example, I have already finished part 2 of my Fallout 3 Let's Play, and that was only 25 minutes long. Purely because I played and I got to a certain point and thought, right, this is where I want to stop, and off I went. So I don't play to a timetable. I don't deliberately set out and say, this is where I'm going to stop this video. But there are some issues with posting long videos longer than half an hour. The first one is, a lot of people say, oh, it's too long. What I do is I watch it in two parts. Now, that's not a problem. They start watching it, and then they come back and start watching the rest later on. And, for them, though, obviously, if I split the video into two, it probably makes it slightly easier to know which ones they've watched and where to go. Now, I know a lot of people's first reaction was, no, I like 50 minutes. I like an hour. Let me just say straight away, this is not going to change the amount of video time. If I have an hour of play, I will still post the 1 hour of play. I will just post it in two parts. So you'll still get an hour of video, no difference. Sometimes I won't. I mean, obviously I'm going to miss days, and sometimes I'll only do short episodes like I do now. My point is, just because I split the videos, it will not mean any less video for you to watch. Now, the advantage to splitting the videos in parts is a technical one. For me, when I upload long videos close to an hour, they do seem to have a tendency to take a long time to process. It can take 4, 5, 6 hours to process. Whereas if I upload them in 20-minute slots, they take about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to process each part, which is like, even if I do them one after another, a total of about 3 hours tops. So there's usually a saving of a couple of hours. But because I can usually start loading the second one up whilst the first one is uploading and beginning to process, what I actually get is huge savings on processing time. Well, not savings, because it doesn't take me any time. It takes YouTube. But it does mean that very often when I plan to get a video out and I want to get it out on one day, and by the time I've got to go to bed, it's still not finished processing, and then I've got no video for that day. So this, splitting it up definitely will help there. And there are times, for example, the last few days, part 34 took almost 48 hours to get sorted. Whereas part 1 of my Fallout 3, I don't know, I can't remember, I think it was about 3.5, 4 hours. And it's a 40-minute or 43-minute video versus a 54-minute video. It's not that big a difference, and yet for some reason, this one I finished playing after this one, but it was available and ready to release a lot earlier. So there are issues there. The other thing from a technical point of view that I have found is the longer videos, the videos that are longer than about half an hour, start having trouble buffering. Even for me, every now and again, I'll find when it buffers the video, I get a lot of pauses. Usually if I'm on a bad link, but not always. Sometimes I could be on an amazing link and I still get these issues. So having them split up into 2 videos like that should hopefully mean, you know, less problems with stuttering, having to wait for it to load ahead, etc. So that's it. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing. I don't know whether I'll do it with part 3, as part 3's video is now whizzing over to the video rendering, and I'll have to see if that's something that can be split into 2 parts or not. Oh, and don't worry, I'm not just going to cut it off at an arbitrary point. If I've got, say, 50 minutes of video and cutting it off at 25 minutes would be daft, I'm not going to do it. I'd rather cut it up into 35 minutes and 15 minutes if I had to. I'd rather do it like that than split it at a bad point. So don't worry about that. I'm very conscious of story flow. The only real question I've got about this is what to call it. If I have, say, I had a video and it was part 10 and I decide to split it, should it be part 10 and an 11 or part 10A and part 10B? I mean, if, for example, part 10A would have the usual "and we're back," part 10B would not. Would that be okay? But if it was part 11 and I didn't do "and we're back," would people get annoyed with me? I know it's a daft question, but it's the sort of thing that people will actually get bothered by. So that's what I'm thinking I should split it up into sort of, you know, part 10A, part 10B. That's what I'm thinking. It's just an idea. On the subject of the games I'm playing in my Let's Play, obviously a lot of requests for a lot of different games, and here's the thing. I mean, I hope you guys don't mind, and I'm sure 99.9% of you don't. I'm going to play the games I want to play. Obviously, I'm going to want to play Skyrim in a few days. I can only put it off so long before Dragonborn is calling for me. It's kind of nice that I take a few days break because it gives you guys the time to get ahead of me so that I don't spoil it for you. Try not to spoil it for me as well. Don't give me spoilers when I'm playing. But you know, obviously, I want to play that Fallout 3. I'm back in the groove for that. I am getting a massive urge to play Fallout New Vegas, but I will not be playing Fallout New Vegas whilst I'm doing Skyrim and Fallout 3. Maybe when I finish the Fallout 3 or the Skyrim Let's Play, you know, I don't know, Skyrim, one of those when they get to the next chapter, maybe I'll take a break. I don't know, but I have a feeling 2 Fallout games is too much for me. So we'll see. Yeah, Dead Space 3's out. Really, really do want to play that game. Big fan of 1 and 2, and I may record that actually. I've got a feeling that's one of those games that could be interesting to do a Let's Play, especially seeing as it'll be a completely blind one. So I may do that. But I may treat myself to that. I know everyone wants me to get on with the Skyrim and the Fallout 3, and probably the number of people who are interested in watching Dead Space 3 is about, I don't know, 1/5 of the Skyrim one. But again, I'm not picking games to get views. I'm picking games I'm going to have fun with. It's, you know, because I'm going to play them. I am going to play them. Videoing them is just a sort of added thing. Gives me something to upload if you guys are interested. And yes, there's loads of Mass Effect. I'd love to do Mass Effect 1 all the way through to 3. You know, when will I get a chance to do that? It's, you know, this is not a full-time job. That's a lot of play. Knights of the Old Republic, someone suggested. I think people are going through all the old classic RPGs now. And yeah, I'd love to do that again. Time. It's as simple as that. Hitman Absolution, you see, still not started. Still not started. This gives you an idea of time. Black Mesa, not that one's probably a good one for a Let's Play. I don't know if you guys have not played Half-Life, the first game. A, you should play it anyway, but B, if you think the engine's dated, go try Black Mesa. Is it Mesa? Black Mesa? Whatever. Classic game, redone now. This is a mod actually for Half-Life 2, new engine. This is one I definitely want to try. Still not booted it up, so you get the idea. UFO Enemy Unknown, still not even bought. So we're getting massively behind. So yes, I would love to do all the games you guys are suggesting. It's just simply a matter of time. This is I would need to be doing this for 50 and 60 hours a week minimum to get all the games played that I would like to play. Anyway, that is it. Just a quick explanation as to the Let's Play and what's happening with it. I am going to do another video on my Let's Play, but a slightly different one. I want to actually discuss the characters in my Let's Play, specifically my Let's Play Skyrim, Steve and Richard, the differences and why I enjoy playing those characters. Anyway, see you guys soon.